Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News, the perfect show to kickstart your day, bringing you national, international, sports and business news in the next half an hour. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us begin with the headlines. Home Minister Rajnath Singh to review security along India-Pakistan border in Rajasthan with the chief ministers of 4 border states and top BSF officials. Review after India's surgical strikes. Government says the desired results achieved from surgical strikes after a section of leaders demand proof. Airports across country asked to maintain strict vigil. India to raise issue of blocking of a Brahmaputra tributary with China. Siabuku tributary in Tibet blocked as part of China's most expensive hydropower project. Supervisory committee led by Central Waters Commission chairman to visit Cauvery Basin to assess ground situation to submit report to the Supreme Court on 17th of October. And the most powerful Caribbean storm in nearly a decade batters island nation of Haiti. Over 280 people killed. Storm barrels its way to the US. Barack Obama declares emergency in Florida. Our top story this morning, Home Minister Rajnath Singh will review the security along the India-Pakistan border in Rajasthan today. Now, Singh will be in Jaisalmer to review the situation along with chief ministers of 4 states whose boundaries touch Pakistan and also with the top BSF officials. Now, during the 2-day visit, he will hold meetings with the top BSF officials and chair a meeting with Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti, Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje and Punjab Deputy Chief Minister Sukhbir Singh Badal. Now, of the 3,323 kilometre long Indo-Pak border, 1,225 kilometre falls in Jammu and Kashmir, including the line of control, 553 kilometres in Punjab, 1,037 kilometres in Rajasthan and the rest 508 kilometres in Gujarat. Meanwhile, in the national capital, a parliamentary panel reviewed with the top brass of the Home Ministry issues related to the security along the international borders and steps taken to enhance surveillance to check such incidents in future. Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home Affairs headed by Congress leader P. Chidambaram reviewed various aspects of border security along the Indo-Pak border and Indo-Bangladesh border and the steps taken to check repeated incidents of cross-border terrorism. Home Ministry officials led by Union Home Secretary Rajiv Merishi briefed the MPs about the initiatives taken for round-the-clock surveillance and also close coordination between the border guarding forces and the armed forces. The review came in the wake of the Uri and Pathankot attacks earlier. Meanwhile, civil airports in the western states and important ones like those in Delhi, Hyderabad and Bengaluru have now been put on a high alert as part of the heightened security arrangements following cross-LOC surgical strikes by the Indian Army. Now, airports in Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad and Bengaluru have been asked to step up vigil and security to tackle any attack or sabotage. Now, a decision in this regard was notified by the Bureau for Civil Aviation Security, following which the airports, especially hypersensitive ones like those in Mumbai and Delhi, were put on alert. They said that the Central Industrial Security Force chief had also reviewed the airport security during a recent meeting with his top officials posted at all the sensitive airports. Counter-sabotage teams, bomb squads and commando teams have now been asked to be extra vigilant to thwart any possible terror strike. Meanwhile, in related news, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar has hit out at the politicians who are demanding proof of the surgical strikes by India across the line of control on 29th of September. Now, he reiterated that there is no reason for the government to share the proof on these strikes.
100% perfect surgical strike, मुझे लगता है बहुत कम समय पूरे दुनिया ने देखा होगा, लेकिन हमारे सैनिकों के पास ये जिगर है, ये शौर्य है कि वो केवल काम करने से रुकते नहीं है, लेकिन काम पूरा 100% सक्सेस के साथ करते हैं। भारत सरकार को कुछ और वीडियो जारी करने का या प्रूफ देने का कुछ मायना ही बचा नहीं।
Meanwhile, the centre has said that it has achieved the desired results with the surgical strikes on terror launch pads across the LOC. Well, the assertion comes in the wake of demands from a section of political leaders seeking proof of the strikes. Now, the MEA has said that whether or not the government puts out the proof will be determined by national security. The ministry also said that the army carried out the task given to it with surgical precision.
What the government puts out or not is determined solely by national security and will continue to be so. I have nothing more to say. As we all know, it is usual to see Pakistan's reaction of denial of terrorism sponsored from its soil against its neighbors. Elimination of Osama bin Laden and Mullah Mansoor were met with similar denials. But we all know the truth. Our counter-terrorism operation on the 29th of September was to neutralize an imminent threat of terrorists ready to be launched from across the line of control. The Indian Army was given a task which it carried out with surgical precision. The desired result has been obtained. The intended message has been conveyed.
Meanwhile, amidst all this, now Pakistan's Army Chief General Raheel Sharif has hit out at India, alleging that it is spreading a litany of falsehoods. He warned India that any aggression against Pakistan would not go unpunished.
Pakistan's Army Chief General Raheel Sharif has accused India of spreading a litany of falsehoods. He warned that any aggression or a strategic miscalculation against his country would not go unpunished. He also called upon the international community to condemn the Indian fabrications about Pakistan, saying his country has made unparalleled contributions against the global fight against terror. General Sharif's comments come amidst the increased strain on Indo-Pak ties following the Uri terror attack and India's response in the form of surgical strikes on terror launch pads inside Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Even though Pakistan continues to deny that any strikes took place, its Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif had tried to calm the situation on Wednesday, saying Pakistan was against war and wanted to resolve all issues, including Kashmir, in a peaceful manner.
हम जंग के खिलाफ हैं, हम खित्ते में पायदार अमन चाहते हैं, हम कश्मीर समेत तमाम मसाइल संजीदा बामकसद और नतीजा खेज मुज़ाकरात के जरिए हल करना चाहते हैं। हम इस सोची समझी राह पर साबित कदमी से चलते रहेंगे, लेकिन अमन की इस ख्वाहिश को एक पुरवकार, बाइज्जत और खुददार कौम की ख्वाहिश समझा जाए।
Pakistan has been increasingly isolated at the international level, with the SAARC summit to be held in Islamabad being cancelled after members pulled out. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
And in the wake of surgical strikes across the LOC, Pakistan is facing the heat not only on the international stage but also its people. Now, protest demonstrations are being reported in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, all directed against the Nawaz Sharif government for the support it is providing to terrorist outfits in the region.
Scenes of protest from the Neelam Valley in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Local residents want terror outfits like the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Jaish-e-Mohammed to shift their bases elsewhere. They complain that the terrorists are making their lives a living hell in the region.
सबसे पहले मैं मजम्मत करता हूं रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर की इस कैपिटल सिटी के अंदर लश्कर तैयबा के जहादी कैंपों की। सबसे पहले भरपूर अंदाज में इसकी मजम्मत करें।
जहां कहीं भी दहशतगर्दों के, तालिबान के कैंप बने हुए हैं, उनको खत्म नहीं किया तो फिर हम भी मजबूर होंगे कि इंतहाई इक़दाम करने पर।
The protesters disclosed that the terrorists are insinuating jihadi views in their school syllabus to indoctrinate children.
की कुछ जहादी तंजीमें जो अक़वाम आलम ने बैन की हुई हैं, जिनके ऊपर पाबंदी है, उन्होंने जो है अपनी ऊपर जो है वो कैमोफ्लेज करके जो है वो यहाँ पर आके बच्चों को जो है वो एक दहशतगर्दी की जो है वो राय या उस ट्रेंड पे जो है वो उसको चढ़ाने जा रहे हैं।
The protests at the local level against the Pakistani government are being echoed on the international stage as well. The country at present, except China, is on its side. Even the Pakistani opposition is not holding back. Edzaz Ehsan, leader of the People's Party, told the Pakistani Parliament on Wednesday that the free run given to the so-called non-state actors is making the country an international untouchable. At the United Nations, India's permanent representative Syed Akbaruddin once again accused Pakistan of running a terror factory.
Just less than 10 days ago, the General Assembly Hall witnessed a high-level debate. It also witnessed a singular lack of support for the representative of Pakistan's baseless claims. Need one say more? Our response to Pakistan is consistent. Abandon your futile quest. The state of Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India and will remain so. No amount of misuse of international platforms by Pakistan will change that reality.
Akbaruddin says blocking India's proposal to ban Jaish-e-Mohammed's Masood Azhar is the main reason why Pakistan is not feeling compelled to shut down its terror activity. He feels this has also weakened the UN Security Council. With inputs from Akhilesh Suman, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi has accused the ruling party BJP of playing politics on the issue of surgical strikes. He also blamed the MDA government for allegedly not doing enough for the farmers.
हमारे जवान हैं जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जम्मू कश्मीर में जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो, उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो, ये बिल्कुल गलत है.
Congress Vice President jumped into the ongoing verbal duel between the government and the opposition on the matter of surgical strikes conducted by the Indian Army last week. On the last day of its Kisan Yatra, which culminated in Delhi on Thursday, Rahul Gandhi accused the ruling party of playing politics over this issue. He also alleged that the BJP is disrupting the social harmony of the country.
आपने हिंदुस्तान को, एक हिंदुस्तानी को दूसरे हिंदुस्तानी से लड़ाने का काम किया है, हिंदुस्तान को बांटने का काम किया है.
Congress General Secretary and in charge of the party's affair in Uttar Pradesh, Ghulam Nabi Azad, promised to waive farm loans if his party forms the government in the state in the forthcoming elections.
जो मुद्दा लेकर राहुल गांधी जी चले थे, कर्जा माफ करने का, बिजली हाफ करने का और एमएसपी का, मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस का, लेकिन एक वादा हम सरकार में जब आएंगे तो कर्जा माफ पहली प्राथमिकता होगी और पहला फैसला कांग्रेस पार्टी का होगा.
Rahul Gandhi had embarked on a month-long Kisan Yatra from Devaiya in Uttar Pradesh in a bid to connect with the people ahead of the assembly elections in the state. With Panchanan Mishra, Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
Well, the BJP has, however, dismissed Rahul Gandhi's comment as shameful and a sign of his poor state of mind. The party said that the Congress Vice President's remarks are a new low in Indian politics.
देश सैल्यूट कर रहा है अपने आर्म फोर्सेस को, अपने प्राइम मिनिस्टर को, वहीं फ्रस्ट्रेशन में राहुल गांधी इस तरह की बयानबाजी कर रहे हैं क्योंकि दलाली से राहुल का बहुत लंबा अटैचमेंट है. क्योंकि इन्होंने डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट में कांग्रेस ने दलाली खाई, चावल चीनी में दलाली खाई, स्पेक्ट्रम में दलाली खाई, कोयले में दलाली खाई, एयरसेल मैक्सिस डील में दलाली खाई, वीआईपी चॉपर स्कैम में दलाली खाई. तो दलाली की पराकाष्ठा देखिए कि इन्होंने जो आतंकवादियों को ट्रेनिंग देने वाला एक संस्थान था उससे भी दलाली खा ली. तो जिस तरह का भाव उनका रहा है, जिस तरह से 10 साल तक उन्होंने 12 लाख करोड़ की दलाली कांग्रेस ने खाई है, तो ऐसे व्यक्ति से आप क्या अपेक्षा कर सकते हैं.
And right now we'll take a very short break here. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
The Harappan period is also called the Bronze Era. Extensive collection from the era shows the Indus artists were not only well versed in techniques of metallurgy, but also innovations in dance and performing arts. This is best seen in the famous Mohenjo-daro relic, the Indus dancing girl. No less impressive is the man drawing a bullock cart depicting agriculture activities. bronze elephants, on the other hand, show domesticated animals used for transport.
Welcome back after the break. On to the other big story of the day. Well, India will get in touch with its Chinese counterparts on the issue of blocking a tributary of river Brahmaputra in Tibet to facilitate construction of Beijing's most expensive hydropower project. Now, China has blocked a Siaboku tributary of the Brahmaputra river in Tibet as part of the construction of the Lalo project, causing concern in India as it may impact the water flow into the country, including to states like Assam. The construction work on the project began in June 2014 and it is scheduled to be completed in 2019. Now, Indian and Chinese have various bilateral mechanisms to deal with river water issues, including an expert-level mechanism which meets regularly to discuss issues concerning cross-border rivers, which include Brahmaputra and Sutlej. Now, India will take up the issue in the next expert-level mechanism between the two nations.
We have conveyed to the Chinese side that they should be mindful of the interests of the lower riparian while undertaking any projects on these rivers. The Chinese side has conveyed to us on several occasions that they are only undertaking run-of-the-river projects which do not involve diversion of the waters of the Brahmaputra. All relevant issues which occurred after the last meeting of the expert level are always taken up at the next meeting. I expect that at the next meeting we will take up this matter.
And our news from the Cauvery water sharing row, and a supervisory committee will be, as directed by the Supreme Court, will visit the Cauvery Basin area today. The committee, led by Water Commission Chairman G.S. Jha, will visit the basin areas of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala and Puducherry before submitting its report to the Supreme Court on 17th of October. Well, the team is expected to visit Hemavati, Harangi, Krishnaraj Sagar and Kabini Reservoir in Karnataka, and in Tamil Nadu is likely to inspect water stock at Mettur, Lower Bhavani Dam and Amravati Reservoir in the basin. Now, in the latest order, the Supreme Court had ordered Karnataka to release 2,000 cusecs of Cauvery water per day to Tamil Nadu from 7th to 18th of October. On to some other news. Well, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has said that the adoption of goods and services tax by India is poised to boost the country's medium-term growth. Now, asserting that India has shown that progress on reforms could ignite business investment, the IMF, in its latest Asia-Pacific Regional Economic Update, said medium-term growth has been revised upward, reflecting continued progress on structural reforms. Now, greater labour market flexibility and product market competition remain essential to create jobs and raise growth. Priorities also include effective implementation of the new corporate debt restructuring mechanisms. Further, in its report, the IMF said that India's GDP growth is expected at 7.6% in both 2016-17 fiscal year that ends in March 2017 and 2017-18 fiscal year, up 0.1 percentage point relative to April 2016 World Economic Outlook. It also added that India's growth has continued to benefit from the large improvement in terms of trade positive policy actions, including the implementation of restructural reforms, gradual reduction of supply side constraints, and a rebound in confidence. Well, the government has claimed that ease of doing business will help India pull off 8% growth over the next couple of decades. Now, speaking at the India Economic Summit in the national capital, Commerce Minister Nirmala Sitharaman stressed on removing regulatory hurdles that affect India's competitiveness. Sitharaman, however, asserted that government's priority remains job creation.
After the IMF revised India's GDP forecast to 7.6% on robust growth momentum, the government has exuded confidence that the country's economic growth may touch 8%. Speaking at the India Economic Summit at the World Economic Forum, Commerce Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that states are working jointly with the centre to propel economic growth. Sitharaman added that FDI flows to India have increased significantly and this has to be translated into job creation.
Talking about ease of doing business, or when you're talking about equitable growth, inclusive and equitable growth for a sustained future. All of this sits well with what the Government of India is doing.
The unemployment rate in India shot up to a 5-year high of 5% in 2015-2016. Unemployment stood at 8.7% for women as compared to 4.3% for men. Around 77% of the households do not have a regular salary earner. Experts say the various flagship programs of the government on skill development lack interlinkage.
Some of the flagship programs in this context, particularly the Skill India, the Startup India, the Make in India, how we establish interlinkages between these programs, that would in a way provide major boost to our economic growth. And that's important because that would help in creating jobs at the ground level.
India's economy grew 7.1% in the first quarter of 2015-2016. However, jobless economic growth continues to haunt India's youth. With 1 million individuals entering the labour force every month, creating productive jobs is perhaps the biggest challenge facing the country. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, a very short break in here. Up next, we have all the international and sports news. Stay tuned.
I am Ishan Russell.
I'm Tracy Shilchi and you're watching News Tonight.
Together with a team of our
dedicated professionals from across various fields.
This is Shyam Sundar,
Vishal Dahiya,
Akhilesh Suman,
Frank Pereira from Beijing, China.
Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television. We bring to you
the news that matters here on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back onto the big international story. And the most powerful Caribbean storm in nearly a decade, Hurricane Matthew has caused extensive damage in the North American island nation of Haiti, with the government drastically raising the death toll to 283. Now, rescue workers warn that the toll could rise further as they work to establish the full extent of the damage. Now barreling its way to America, the U.S. National Weather Service has said that the storm could be the most powerful to strike northeast of Florida in 118 years. Emergency teams in Haiti struggling to reach worst-hit areas. This after Hurricane Matthew rolled over the nation's western tip and began a devastating island-hopping path that now arcs towards the U.S. coast. Hurricane Matthew made a landfall in the island nation of Haiti as Category 4 hurricane on Tuesday. The devastation was especially brutal in the south of the country, where winds of 200 km/h destroyed homes and flooded villages. Worse, the main road that connects the south of the country with the capital, Port-au-Prince, broke apart when a bridge collapsed, severely hampering relief efforts. An estimated 350,000 people have been affected, with close to 16,000 displaced, living in shelters.
We will be helping to support the Haitian Red Cross, which has thousands of volunteers throughout the country. And one of the things we'll be doing in the beginning is getting those communication systems up. We'll bring in technology to help do that. We also have warehouses with relief supplies that we'll be distributing.
After Haiti, Hurricane Matthew pounded the Bahamas. Storm surges here were as high as 15 feet, along with intense rains and damaging winds. Trees and power lines were down, but no fatalities have been reported.
We are very saddened by the reports of lost lives and uprooted houses, damage done, and in particular for Haiti, which we have been trying to serve and help recently. We stand ready. We have rapid facility lines that can be in place very promptly, and we shall certainly do whatever we can to help.
Meanwhile, as the hurricane heads for the U.S. state of Florida, it has again been upgraded to a Category 4 storm, the second highest hurricane classification. Florida and Georgia governors have urged the residents to evacuate before the hurricane makes landfall.
There's a lot of people that have never been through this and are still waiting to evacuate. There is no reason, if you're in an evacuation zone, if you're in a barrier island, if you know you're prone to flooding, if you're in an evacuation zone, get out now. Based on the continued strong track to Florida, I've activated 3,500 members of our National Guard. That's over half of the available troops have been activated. That's how serious this is.
At the moment, international attention is towards Haiti, where hurricane exacted a heavy toll on the country's infrastructure, agriculture and houses. UNICEF has said that Haiti is facing the largest humanitarian event since the devastating earthquake 6 years ago, which killed at least 2 lakh people and left 1.5 million displaced. Tens of thousands were still living in makeshift homes after the earthquake when the hurricane hit. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's get you some more international news in World Wrap. Pakistani Parliament has unanimously passed a red legislation against honor killings on Thursday, removing a loophole in existing law that allows killers to walk free after being pardoned by family members. The law now mandates a life imprisonment even if the victim's relatives forgive the murder. An anti-rape law which makes it mandatory that a perpetrator get 25 years in jail was also passed in the same parliamentary session. Antonio Guterres, the man set to become the next UN Secretary General, vowed on Thursday to serve the most vulnerable when he takes up the post. It was his first public comment since the United Nations Security Council earlier on Thursday unanimously backed Guterres to be the next Secretary General. Now, a vote by the UN General Assembly's 193 member states to endorse him as the successor to Ban Ki-moon is expected next week. Meanwhile, the UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting today on Syria after a UN envoy warned that eastern Aleppo may be totally destroyed in the next few months by the Russian and Syrian air campaign. Russia requested the meeting to hear from UN envoy Staffan de Mistura, who will brief the Council via video conference from Geneva. And the Supreme Court is likely to pass an order today on the implementation of the Lodha Committee recommendations by the BCCI. This after the Council for BCCI declined to give an unconditionally undertaking that it will seek instructions to stop funds to state bodies and abide by the committee's recommendations. Now, a bench headed by Chief Justice T.S. Thakur on Thursday said that BCCI's defiant attitude will not lead anywhere. It further emphasized that transparency, fairness and objectivity were most important aspects in all decisions, including disbursal of funds by BCCI. The bench said that BCCI cannot pass the buck and allow state bodies to defy reforms. Earlier, BCCI faced the Supreme Court's wrath for the defiant attitude in implementing the directions of the Lodha Committee.
बीसीसीआई के लिए ये ब्लैक थर्सडे था, क्योंकि जिस तरह देश के सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के सामने उन्होंने एक पे एक झूठ का सहारा लिया, पैसा देते हैं 29 तारीख को और 30 तारीख को मीटिंग में पास करते हैं। कोर्ट ने सारे चीजों को पकड़ा है, वो भी करोड़ में, जो हर साल 25 से 30 करोड़ रुपया एक स्टेट क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन को दिया जाता है। कोर्ट ने आज अपना जजमेंट रिजर्व कर लिया। आजकल कभी भी जजमेंट आ सकता है। बीसीसीआई ने फाइनली कोई भी अंडरटेकिंग देने से इनकार कर दिया है।
That's it in this edition of news, but news and updates continue on your channel. Thanks for watching.